It's the Smash Bros. Cast, episode 84. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Peon?
Nightcrawler invited me to his house and he just vanished. He just handed me the microphone and he's gone. I think he kind of just drifted away. So here I am, Josh. I'll do my best.
Well, we're glad you're here. Crawler will be back. Don't worry. Crawler will be back. We'll be back. I just reached out to Peon this week. I was like, hey, we haven't chatted in a while. Let's chat. The last time was when we were on the Beyond the Metagame podcast, which you host. Tell us a little bit about it real quick.
That's right. So we try to solve the question, how do I get better at Smash Bros? That's sort of our main objective, specifically when not holding a controller. I think, Josh, I think you and I agree on this. Just talking about the game and thinking about it does a lot for your development. And that's sort of our main objective. So anytime, Josh, you want to sit down and talk to me about improving your game, enjoying the game more, getting better at the game, I'm happy to do so. So thanks for having me on, man.
So we go back. You go back to the early days when I was as green as you could be. And
as this bamboo plant.
Yes, exactly. So, we had a day on stream where Peon gave me he gave me the full-on Smash lesson. He gave me the Smash lesson and he was like, "All right, why did I just beat you?" And I was like, "Oh, because you hit me with a smash attack." He's like, and it was like Mr. Miyagi and Danielson, it was so, I was nervous, right? Those early days for me were absolutely terrifying because nobody likes to put out they don't like to put themselves out there when they're garbage at something. But that's what I did. I was like, here you go. Here's my journey.
Josh, that vulnerability is really why I was first attracted to you and your content. And when I say attracted, I mean attracted, Josh, in all of its forms. But really, I listened to the early days of the Smash. I'm just a man telling the truth. I was listening to the Smash Bros. Cast, this very podcast, right before Smash Ultimate came out. And both you and Crawler are taking the dive to take Smash very seriously, to give it a real competitive go. And sort of the Smash Bros. Cast served and serves as that journal of self-improvement within Smash for you guys. And that vulnerability to me was so intoxicating because every Smash Bros. Player can relate to the vulnerability of entering a Smash Bros. Tournament or trying to hit Elite Smash or, putting your best foot forward against somebody else's and letting the chips fall where they may, right? And that's it takes vulnerability to play a fighting game. You go in, and if you lose, well, there's no one to blame but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think showing that vulnerability is a sign of strength, and that strength I saw in you is what made me go like, man, I need to help this guy. I need to steer him in the right direction because that your willingness to be vulnerable is the most important step in becoming a good Smash Bros. Player.
I think, just a lesson in life is you often hear when somebody is teachable, right? There's the opportunity for them to go further because it means that you're not so like you could be set in your stone. You're set your ways are set in stone, and they're wrong, or they're not going to, you're not going to. You don't leave yourself any opportunity to improve or find weaknesses in your game or in whatever it is that you're doing. And I don't know. My approach was like, let's just document this journey and see who, and what happened is there's, hundreds, if not thousands of people now are all part of the, like, we got a pretty amazing community out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty awesome. And seeing, I've been able to sit back and watch so many people improve their game. I've had people in my stream that were like, my only goal was to beat you on stream one day. you know, like they couldn't. And then they came back and like I remember they typed in chat like, I finally beat you. That was my only goal for that's, you know, they have like 1,500 hours in the game in Ultimate, you know. And I'm like, what? You know, I had no idea. I had no clue whatsoever. And so it's just it's been such a wild ride. And we both have recently taken breaks, right? Your podcast took a little bit of a break. You took a little bit of a break from the Smash community, or from playing Smash anyway. The Smash community's been through some stuff as of recent. Even today, more stuff is going on, and
to say the least.
Yeah. And so, you know,
well, plus just COVID and us, you know, having a physical barrier of entry to tournaments. I mean, the Smash scene, ever since its inception, really has never had such a long mandated vacation from operating tournaments, right? Or at least in-person tournaments. So I feel like a lot of us, you know, you and I have taken a break, but a lot of us collectively are sort of on a weird Smash hiatus, at least in terms of, you know, what is normal.
I'm like, what's interesting for me is I'm at that point with the game now where when I go online versus when I play offline, I can't even believe the amount of input lag and the you know, I was one that was like, the lag doesn't really bother me because I didn't know the game that well yet, or I didn't have that just that connection or the movement even. Because my movement has changed and I fast fall so much more, I'm working on throwing, like, you know, I come in with the I can hit 2 back airs right off the bat with Mario from a short hop, and trying that online, it's like I feel like I could throw one and then like get up, walk away from my controller, go make a cup of coffee, come back, and then throw the other one, and it would still, you know, just in a short hop. And so it's crazy to me because like I totally get it. I totally get why some of the pros are like, I can't do this. I can't. When you train like that for offline with no lag, and then you get introduced to lag, it is. I can see why it throws you off your game.
Yeah, it's certainly. I think Ultimate is a very fast-paced game at its best. It does the pace of play is real quick. You look at professional matches, you know, with Tweak or Light or MKLeo, you know, one tech could be the difference between winning or losing a set. And when you lose some of that responsiveness and that tactile crispness, I'm gonna put that on a mug. Tactile crispness of offline Smash Ultimate play. Some of that is lost in translation now. When it comes to online Smash, I think that there's still so much to be gained. Like, you've used it as a vessel to improve, and certainly other people, like you said, even within your own community, saying like, look, Josh, the moment I beat you online, that's it. Game over. I won. Like, that was the hurdle I had to jump over.
Yeah.
And so I think that like online does allow for some real genuine improvement, but also some real genuine fun. I think it's very valuable. And specifically when it comes to learning the game from just a raw information perspective. Like, think about how many different characters are in the game. I don't even know the number now. It's like it's approaching 80.
I think it's 84 will end up being our 84? Total. I think that will be the total when it's all said and done. If they don't, you know, if Waluigi doesn't make it, you know, I don't know.
Fingers crossed. But, you know, like with that many characters in the game, it's just a fact that you're going to have to put in a bunch of hours to understand what the other characters' options are, how I should strategize against them, what big attacks I should avoid if I'm at kill percent against these characters. And online is just like an amazing way to do that, if anything.
So we were talking a little bit beforehand about the like tournaments and like the online Wi-Fi warriors that will make their way into some of these tournaments. Like, what do you think it is about? Because I didn't realize it was kind of a thing, but I've noticed there's a handful of people that have made their way into some of our tournaments, and they all have identical, like very similar avatars. They're all anime avatars.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. That's right.
So
those damn anime avatars. They'll get you.
But like, I feel like there's like is there like a little scene? Like is it like like Fortnite has like the wager matches and things like that, and I'm getting the impression that Smash is kind of the same way.
Okay, Josh, this is the thing, man. Like, so you're coming into Smash from this like super wholesome perspective. Like for you, it's all been about your Twitch community and just your genuine love for the game.
Yeah.
And as a result, you have
oh
been
no,
detached
I'm
from
sheltered.
how-
I'm sheltered.
you are sheltered in this wonderful bubble of online Smash Bros. You are in this baby blanket. A lot of people, you're being swaddled by a bunch of people that love Mario just as much as you do. The thing is, a lot of people when they get dragged to their first Smash tournament by their friends, like, yo, like just come so that we could split gas money on the way there. And if we win, we can all share the pot, and then we can all go get Jack in the Box. It'll be all like the best day of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's all these kind of reluctant people who they're really good at the game because they play with their friends a lot, that are also good at the game, but they have no love for the community. They're just out here trying to make a buck, right? And these people go by the name Sharks. They're all sharks, okay?
Okay.
And they will drive. They'll carpool 3 hours to go to a tournament in the middle of nowhere, where the community is kind of weak or not. There aren't many top players that live there, so they'll shark the tournament, get like the $40, and then they just I don't know what they do with the money. It's mostly Taco Bell, I think, but it's sort of this conquest for them to go and shark tournaments for cash, right?
Okay.
And Smashers are not like collectively, I think, on the totem pole of wealth. I think Smashers own collectively about $100 among the whole Smash Bros community. It's bad, a lot of Smashers are poor. It's a bit of a meme, unfortunately. And so this all leads to, in COVID, right? There's a community of people who they can't shark anymore into local tournaments. So what are they doing? They're on the hunt for those tournaments where you get the $25 Nintendo eShop card. Look, man, that's Taco Bell money. Okay, you can now think I think you have to make some trades to exchange the Nintendo dollars for the Taco Bucks, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
And there is a real community of people who like to shark tournaments, and it's mostly because Smashers are young, they have plenty of time to get good at the game, and they don't have very much money. So it's a real thing, man. Watch out for the anime avatars.
Watch out for the anime avatars.
Coming to a tournament near you, okay?
Got it. So, I mean, what? And you said you've had this happen in your own tournaments?
Yeah, yep, online tournaments and local tournaments.
Oh, okay.
Both. They don't dress up as anime characters in person.
Oh, right, of course.
But you could tell they would if it was socially acceptable.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, I see. So, do you feel like it takes some of the enjoyment away from the tournaments you've had?
Well, absolutely, because I think that, for instance, if you were to host an online tournament, which you do, right, monthly, and you kind of want to see a storyline. You want to see like, okay, this player got 5th last week, but this week he got 3rd. Like that was a really big leap for him. And same thing at a local tournament where you have the same 20 people showing up every week, and if people do better than they normally do, it's a big source of pride for them. Like, of course it would be. And when you have people that are randomly dropping in who found out about your tournament in an effort to win the $20 Amazon gift card, and they hop in, and you don't know how to seed them properly because you don't know who the hell these people are.
Right.
And suddenly, if I'm entering the tournament and I get randomly seeded to play against this hidden monster, and I get, last week I got 5th against all of the N64 Josh homies, and now this week I got 17th because random anime avatar 11 hopped in, and turns out he was a hidden boss, and he destroyed my chance at a bracket. So I think it certainly could hurt the competitive integrity and the enjoyment of these online tournaments. Absolutely.
Well, and it's funny you say that because last month the top 4, they were all, other than one person was relatively new to my community, but no anime avatar, played as a King K rule, which was very cool to see,
Yeah.
and the others that were in the top were regulars, and so it's cool to see. Actually, my boy Antoine came back and started playing some Smash and ended up taking the tournament with Mario. So I mean,
Yeah.
I was way stoked, and then this last one was a completely different story, and it was the same kind of thing. Like we like one of the anime characters actually made a losers run, which was kind of cool. Like made it all the way and reset grand finals. And they were good matches, but yeah, is this somebody that we're gonna see again? Like I don't know. And so you're making me rethink the whole thing, because like I don't know. I'm running into this interesting dilemma, like with not only with Smash, but with like Mario Kart, where it's like I race with viewers, right? But it has turned into sweating with viewers. And some people aren't playing Mario Kart to sweat. They just want to have fun, throw some shells, and race,
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching my numbers decline in these races because, and I've had people tell me like it's just too tough. Like the people that are in there racing just make it not fun, So this is interesting. I've got some stuff to think about here.
Well, because at least as far as the tournaments go, it depends on what do you value. So if you look at if you have no idea who anyone in the Smash community is, and you tune into Evo Grand Finals, okay, you're going to see some high quality Smash. And if that's what you're after, then fine. But I would argue that what's fun about sports or competitive, activities in general is the context of who you're watching compete. It isn't about basketball team A versus basketball team B. It's, can LeBron James win another championship? Or when it comes to a local tournament or a tournament that you might run on Wi-Fi, it isn't about, hey, let's see the best Smash ever. If I want to do that, I'll just go on YouTube and type in Evo Grand Finals. It's about the context of a community and seeing people who know each other, who square off, and then it depending on who wins that tournament, it motivates people next time. Like, next time I'm going to get them, because there's that implied future that, the social context of, hey, we're all kind of in this together, and you have a rival. But if some random guy you don't know is fighting against you with an anime profile picture, no less, it might as well just be for glory, right? Or Elite Smash, right?
Right.
You don't know who they are. So I think it's a problem. I think it's a really challenging issue with no clear solution, because you don't want to just exclude people because you don't know who they are, but then you never grow. But it's just it's a tricky one. It's a
Yeah.
tricky one.
It is, because I want to see growth. I want to see people get involved in this scene, and we've got people from all skill levels jumping in right now. Like,
Yeah.
we've got some people that are brand new to Smash and excited about playing Smash for the very first time, joining the tournament and getting excited if they take one stock off of somebody, and those are the goals that they have for themselves right now, and they're celebrating those goals when they win it. So this is the kind of stuff that I want to encourage, and that I'm like, yeah, look at that, look at the victories even in the losses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Well, oh, go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
well, no, and so, but the veterans to my community that have been in it for a long time, like, those are the people I want to see in the top 8. Those are the ones I want to see that are like, yeah, we know that person X has played against person Z. They've done all kinds of friendlies trying to learn the matchup, and so you're going to see a chess match. You're going to see some high level play, but you're also going to see the way people can improve, and they can see their improvement throughout through
the months.
Throughout the months, exactly. Right.
And that's really valuable and interesting. I think the solution is, if there is one, and maybe this is too simplified, but like, maybe we're limiting ourselves as a community, not just you and I, Josh, but as people who run Wi-Fi tournaments occasionally. Maybe we're limiting ourselves by only producing tournaments in terms of competitive play. I think something such as the N64 Josh Smash Bros. Cast League could be cool. Like you have to apply to get in, or at least like be part of the community, and then you play some preliminary rounds against the community, and sort of maybe you can even self-sort yourself like beginner, intermediate, advanced.
Yeah.
And every week you play against the same people, so you can really track your improvement. You could have a real rival, and you can have friends that you can compare yourself, against. I think that maybe tournaments themselves just aren't good um, for this sort of extended play format that we're talking about. Just a thought.
We're gonna break this down right now because I like the idea of a Smash League a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking Big Lebowski, bowling, like
Hell yeah, I want you to make like the video game Sandlot, Josh.
dude, I'm getting bowling shirts for our Smash League. Like
that would be sick. We all got matching shoes. Okay, someone's mom brings brownies for everybody after the games.
Exactly. So, I mean, have you heard of something like this before?
Well, so there is sort of a thing happening in Melee right now. The top players in Melee through a Beyond the Summit. They have a name for it. I forget what it's called, but they're sort of having a Smash League where there's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, perhaps, and it's just sort of the top pros squaring off, but in like a weekly format basis. But I don't know if I've ever heard of this, like just for local play, and I don't see why not. I mean, think about T-ball, think about like Little League, think about your local soccer park. There's always leagues going on. I see no reason why we couldn't apply the same structure and format. You could even have playoffs. You could have I think probably the best solution is you just self-categorize yourself to beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and if there is an outlier, if you go to beginner and you're way better than everybody else, maybe the league administrators can sort of say, nah, bro, you're actually intermediate after a couple weeks or whatever. But I see no reason why this couldn't apply to an online Smash community.
Yeah, I'm so curious about putting this into action because this is what I'm after. This is community building. The tournaments are great. People have a great time coming together and watching the high level play. It is fun. It helps me learn to commentate better. Like that's where I'm putting myself out there right now, where I will literally be like, oh, I can't believe that F smash, and somebody's like, it's an up smash. I'm like, that up smash, it was amazing. you know, because I just don't know the characters. But I'm at that same point where I'm like, I'm just gonna I want to start getting the commentary to be exciting, and I'll keep learning as I go. You know what I mean? Instead of like being all sheepish and then it's just boring. So I'm using the tournaments for myself as well. But I love the idea of a league. Honestly, I really, really like this because on top of league play, I don't know if you separate into teams, where it doesn't necessarily become like a doubles match, but like maybe each team consists of 16 people that fill an intermediate, beginner, and advanced, and those brackets, those groups are what play against each other in on our league plays. So it would really just be dependent on how many, and then I can stream a handful of the matches, and I don't know, I'll be bouncing some things off of you and see, because you guys could have a league, honestly. Like we could do like podcast leagues, or we could decide on team sizes, and then I don't know. It could be pretty cool.
The possibilities really are endless. And I think that we do agree that, if you value stuff like, actually having community oriented events where the end goal isn't, hey, let's see the best chess match possible, but rather let's mark our improvement over long periods of time and have fun and sort of get to know each other's play styles and characters and all that sort of thing. It has to be a league. You could also do it like a Harry Potter style or Pokemon Go style, where you have like 4 different factions. Like, I'm talking like Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, that sort of thing.
I've never seen Harry Potter, but I get it.
Josh, get out of here. Come on, man. Hang up this call. Go watch Harry Potter. I'll read it to you with my. I'll do my best British accents. I do a mean Professor McGonagall, which is a reference you don't know.
Yeah.
Half the listeners, they know what I'm talking about.
Who's that?
I forgot that's a thing about you, Josh. You don't watch anything. You did make a Mr. Miyagi reference earlier.
Oh, 80s movies, Star Wars, I got you. But Harry Potter, I put them on, but I just fell asleep through all of them. I was like, I got to try again. I don't dislike them. I don't dislike them. I don't dislike them. I'm not dogging them.
So far in this podcast, you both alienated everybody who likes anime and everybody likes Harry Potter. There's like 2 people listening now.
Oh, well, if anybody knows me, they know that I call anime cartoons just to see how bad I can trigger people. So
it also triggers them if you call cartoons anime. It works. I love that it works both ways. But what was I gonna say? In Pokemon Go, there was like, when you first played, you arbitrarily selected whether you were part of the yellow team, blue team, or red team.
Yeah.
They had these like edgy, it was like Team Mystic. I think that's the one I was on. Whatever. You could do sort of like, there's 3 different houses, 3 different tribes, and then within each tribe, there's like an intermediate, advanced, and beginner team. So like the advanced guys are cheering on the beginners. Like, let's go. I don't know. Like,
kind of
there's
like
a lot of ways you can go about it.
The UFC reality show.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like Ultimate Fighter or something. I think is what it was called, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, to where you just build these teams around, and I could look through my veterans and say, hey, do you want to set up? Do you want to run a team in the league, and then we could start building around that, like, because I really do like the idea of seeing, like, to watch somebody move from that beginner stage to that intermediate stage to the advanced stage. Like, that's what this is about. That's what this has always been about. And somebody just joining a tournament, getting beat once and then getting beat again, and then probably, I try to encourage friendlies for the online thing, but I watch my numbers. As soon as somebody they lose, a lot of times they leave. Sometimes they stick around, but like, there's not a lot of the friendlies taking place. Whereas like, this is a dedicated Smash night where everybody is jumping in. They're finding people that are in their bracket. The team leaders would help people decide, hey, this is probably where you're at. And, people would just have to accept it and then work their way up. And I feel, I mean, the teams could get together and practice on their own, and then we could do league battles or whatever, and even do a season where it was like, like, but try to get the teams as even as possible. And it's going to be tricky because, scheduling and all that stuff. But like, I think just like anything, if you were in a bowling league and it's important to you, you're going to show up for it, So, his mic. There it goes. It's back.
Oh, sorry. Did I just look like I was like miming?
There was no sound. Like, I was like, his noise gate has not kicked in yet. He's got to stop. He's got to talk louder.
I think there really is room in the broader community, Josh. I definitely think you should. Yeah, I think you're already considering doing it. I think it would be really cool if you did it. But also in general, it's like, I think that for people who want to get better at Smash, I always tell them that if they don't have some sort of, and this is the same thing with going to the gym, this is the same thing about learning any new skill, or maybe having some sense of social structure that obligates you to do something will be so important in getting you better at whatever you're trying to do. Whether if it's in school, having study buddies, having like a certain time and a place where you do the activity, or the studying, will really help you. And in terms of Smash, a lot of people, they come for the game, stay for the community, or vice versa. They'll come for the community and stay for the game, because you don't really improve unless you have social context to your improvement. Like Josh, you were saying, some people would improve to beat you on stream. That was their social context. You were that social context.
Mm-hmm.
For others, it's their little brother who's just annoying, and who their Mario just has the sickest combos. It's like, I'm gonna shut you the hell up, man, with my youngling or whatever, right? And for a lot of us, especially people who, Josh, you and I are adults. We live, full lives. We have people we have to take care of. I have a lizard. You have children, but there's a bit of a gap in terms of our responsibilities. But we don't have that thing pushing us to the game. So if we do have a genuine interest in the game, I think that like taking time to build this social system that will help you get better at the game is a worthwhile endeavor. So whether it's participating in a league like this, building a league, just making some friends to compete against on a regular basis, that kind of stuff will very much make you a better player over long periods of time. And there's no denying it.
Well, and I feel like what would happen, like let's say the league play happened, like season 1 was just like January, right? Season 2 February. Like you just do monthly and you end. We could structure the seasons that way, or whatever the case may be. But our tournaments would then, you would have to be a part of you'd have to be a part of the league on one of the teams in order to compete in the tournament.
First of all, that's an amazing idea. I think that you just solved all your problems. Second of all, now I'm just imagining some anime profile pic playing the long game. They join the league. They're spending a month to get involved just for the $20 Amazon Prime gift card.
But here's the thing: if that encourages them to get involved and to become part of something bigger, then mission accomplished. Because I would love it to have more people feel like they have a home in the Smash community, that it's not just this negative place. Because they're within the gaming community, we know how much negativity there is, and we know everybody. I mean, the unfortunate thing is that, like you said, a lot of these like 14-year-old kids, they're all running around like Bane, like, "Whoa, I was born by the internet. You better accepted the darkness." You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean, boss.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Like they may not know anything other than like, oh, it's just a negative experience. I'm just going to go in, I'm going to talk my trash. I'm going to, and it's like, no, there's relationships to be made here. There's friendships to be made. There's people that you realize like, wait, these people actually care about me, like, and that's what I try to foster. That's what I've always tried to foster with community is to have people feel like they have a place where their voice can be heard. But 2, there's still the opportunity for for debate, for growth, for improving, and that's, I mean, that's the goal right there. So Smash League, the Smash League.
Might be at the precipice of something great here, Josh.
I mean, I really think so. I just did the Nintendo round robin tournament. That was interesting.
Sorry, you might cut out.
Oh, I
Nintendo
did
what?
The round robin tournament that Nintendo just put on.
Yeah.
No items. Regular play, like how we would play. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is this? And I had such a great time. I I went 6-8, I think. I named my arena, my Twitch link, and I had a few people come over to the Twitch stream afterwards and hang out. And,
oh, that's sick.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
6-8 is not a bad idea. You got some real W's on the board there. I mean, that's six people who were really trying to compete, right? And so they're legitimate players. You had your own.
I don't.
What happened, Josh? What happened?
I mean, there were some that would be in the beginner bracket in the league play. Yeah. That's all. Like,
we just beating up someone's senile grandpa who accidentally turned the switch on.
Like, I may have. That may have been the case in some, But I mean, the reality was there were moments that it was like. It was good competition. We were having a good time. I don't ever compete in my own tournaments because I have too much stuff. I'm managing Smash.gg plus trying to do commentary, make sure we keep the stream moving, talking to chat. It's a. I mean, last
Making
Saturday,
sure crawlers don't break any rules. Making sure crawlers isn't.
He's just taking care of his kids. Down. He's not even in the mix when it comes to the tournaments right now because he's got too many kids he's trying to take care of. So, but I mean, last Saturday I think I streamed like 13 hours, and 5 of those was the Smash Bros tournament. And that's just how long they take. Like they're crazy. They're a blast though. I mean, I love it, but I feel like I've always had this this question I need answered, this problem I need solved of how can I help more people improve at this game. And I think there's something about knowing that you're a part of a team and that team is going to help you, because right now people can randomly post in the Discord, hey, I'm looking for matches, I'm looking for friendlies, but when your team winning is on the line, you're going to want your beginner players to be getting trained. You're going to be wanting your JV team to be getting trained, and you're going to want your varsity team to be going at it as well, so that you can progress in the season and start moving up the ranks.
Yeah. And I want to double down to this. Like, I really think this is a worthwhile endeavor because, I mean, so there's this phenomenon I've observed where there are ways to do things in life. Okay, that humans sort of collectively agree upon, right? If you want your kid to get good at baseball, you sign him up for t-ball. You get him on a team. He goes to practice a couple times a week. He has a game. You celebrate his victories. When he doesn't do very well, you say, "Oh, good try, buddy." Right? But the important thing is that this child's been placed in the context to succeed. They're surrounded by other people who are overcoming the same challenges they are, and they have an obligation to their team, something wider than themselves, and that motivates people as individuals to improve, to make sure that they're not the reason that their team is dragging behind. And a lot of people want to get better at stuff like music or a video game, and they don't apply some of those same lessons that maybe were imposed on them as a child, or that they would impose on their child when it comes to an activity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, putting yourself in a community, whether it's a league or whether it's a Discord server, or whether it's your local tournament once the Black Plague ends, you're going to improve a lot, and it'll be fun. It'll be way more fun because you'll have a reason to improve. And yeah, man, I'm totally with you, Josh. I think we agree here.
Well, I think it could really be done in seasons, like where it's like, hey, from January to May, we're going to have a season, and then we'll go have an off season for summertime so that people don't have to be worrying about they can have an off season, and then maybe we pick back up, like do like a spring and fall, or a winter and spring season, or I don't know what it looks like exactly, but
yeah,
that way it's not super long either. You know what I mean? It's just like maybe it's a 3-month commitment and then a 3-month off and then a 3-month commitment and then something like that.
Well, I guarantee that we've been persuasive enough to where someone, and this wasn't our agenda, by the way. We didn't go into this call with this about. This has all just been off the cuff. But I wonder if people, I'm sure that if you're still listening at this point, your people are down, at least some percentage of people. So maybe get their thoughts. Like, who knows? Maybe this could really happen a lot of different ways that would have the end result of being good. I think that there's a lot of ways to do this right.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ultimate goal here is for people to improve and feel like they're a part of something that they can, like, we love to compete. I play competitive games because I love to compete. I'm not necessarily a super competitive person, and I get all bent out of shape if I lose, but I loved Halo because I love the ability to compete. I love going and doing paintball, but guess what? I can't paintball all the time, but the cost of admission for Halo allowed me to still have that feeling of competing. Smash is the same way. Mario Kart's the same way. Like, so yeah, if you are interested, make sure to jump into the Discord, n64josh.com/discord, and we're gonna need team captains. I will set up different roles so that those teams can chat in their specific server in my Discord, and so you'll have your own private server, and we'll go from there. Like, we'll start fleshing this thing out a little bit and see what it looks like, to see what league play could look like, and how we're gonna need people. We're gonna need people to make this work. So
we need every man, woman, and anime profile pic on board. We can have intermediate,
Yes.
beginner, advanced, and then anime profile pick in their own.
Yes.
Just put them all. Just herd them all together.
Yeah.
Keep them quarantined.
Like Fall Guys did with all the cheaters. They just put them all in their own server together. So
They could just have a Taco Bell in their corner. They could eat Crunchwrap Supremes, and they'll be fine. They'll be happy. They'll be thriving.
yes. So cool, man. We didn't even like. I have to talk about a recent match. Can we talk about a recent match I had?
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about? Let's start with the recent match. But I remember you kind of brought it up before we went on this awesome tangent about the league play, which I think was very productive and cool. You talked about you just came back from a pretty big hiatus, so like you want to talk about what it's like, returning from the break, and also,
of course,
we can start tell me about this recent match.
So one of the things I always love doing with this show is just kind of like breaking down like either a match or what we've been learning, stuff like that. And I was fighting an Enderman. All right. I was fighting, and I don't know about you guys, but I feel like anybody that plays Steve or Enderman, it is just it is maximum disrespect when they start mining. Like, they just don't care about the match at that point. They're just interested in mining. And I'm like, I just feel disrespected. Well, I was down to my last stock. They were sitting at about maybe they were sitting around 90. And I had one of those moments where I was like, you know what? I'm recording this. This is going on YouTube. So you guys can check it. It's my most recent Smash video. It's the last match. And I was like, okay, deep breath. This guy had beaten me the round before by coming out of the cart and hitting me with a back air to take my last stock. So I was picking up on that. I'm like, I watched every time he jumped out of the cart, he threw that back air. So I was like, okay, that tool's now out of your toolbox, my friend. Sorry, but you're not hitting me with that again. All right.
Yeah.
I proceed to do some damage, take a couple hits, throw a down air that kills Enderman. He's so light. I think Steve must be relatively light because at 163, it killed with just the down air from the bottom of the stage, like from right at stage level. So now we're pretty much tied up. I may have 40% on me. All right. I did some damage, got hit, and chased him. We were playing on small battlefield, and he was landing on the plat on the left-hand side, and I came in with a fair, and it bounced him off that plat, and I gave him a second fair. And at about 40%, it was a slow dunk, but he couldn't get back to the stage, and I took the match. And
the double dunk.
It was kind of the double dunk, but there was
that's the Taco Bell item, actually. The double dunk.
It probably is. It probably is. But I mean, it was one of those moments that I did a little celebration in my mind. Like, you know what? I recentered. I really focused on, like, what do I got to do here to win this match. I dug down deep, and I was watching his every move. Oh, he also ran out of materials. So at that point, that's what happened. He ran out of materials, so he had no weapon, and he couldn't use his cart any longer. And I was like, I literally felt like there was blood in the water, and I needed to move, and this was my opportunity. So as he started mining, I came in with a nair that then jab comboed, and the boot is what sent him up and had him land on that second plat, which I then followed with the fair that bounced him up and then allowed me to spike him. So his lack of resource management became like, I found my window of opportunity. That's where it was. And so I can't remember. I mean, I don't have the match in front of me, but it was I have a highlight that's going up on TikTok, and so I've spent a little time editing that. But like that second stock, I went up to hit him, and he built a platform and dropped the anvil on me, and that's what took my second stock. And I was like, I felt like in that moment, I made a decision to not go full tilt and just like find my zen and ended up taking the match, and it felt really good. It felt really good.
Dude, so In talking about how you've come back from this hiatus, do you think that you would have made that same play, a couple months ago, or do you feel like this was an example of like a renewed entity for Josh? How does that all work?
It's completely new. Yeah, it's completely new going back into the game. Here's This may be a tendency for a lot of people, or it may be something that's unique to me. But I feel like what happens in a lot of things that I do, whether it be playing guitar, playing Smash, you know, Smash and guitar are a little more similar as far as like there's always so much to learn. You play first person shooters and it's like, there is some stuff to learn, but a lot of it's like there's only so many things, right? You can learn your angles, you can learn, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not ways to continue, but the well of Smash is so deep. The well of playing an instrument is so deep. And you learn a few things and then you start to master a few things. And that's great, but then what happens is you play somebody that can beat you with the things that you've mastered when it comes to Smash, or like with guitar, I can play a handful of chords and I can do a few leads here and there, but nothing super fancy, right?
Yeah.
I've just learned enough, and I'm pushing myself even now to learn more guitar, and so no, I think old me would have continued into the pattern of let me keep trying to play aggressively and attack with my down air and maybe a nair here and there, and not wait to see what my opponent is going to do. And that's and that has come about just from thinking about the game so much more, and thinking about the dance, and watching high level play as well, and going, there's no hoping that I'm gonna land this hit. It's like I'm gonna be intentional because it starts with the first attack. I'm fine after I get the first attack. At that point, I'm gonna up air them into oblivion if I, more than likely, or at least enough times to then reset neutral and start again. But if I'm losing the first attack, if I'm losing that battle, attacking shields unsafe, or just throwing out something that they're able to counter, that's where I'm losing my matches. I'm losing my matches in the first punch, not the second. And so if I can start improving that, and that's where I was I had gotten the combos down. Even I've had Leo in my comments, he's like, dude, your combo game, but your approach game, right? And so that's where I've had to shift my thinking and my practice, poking at shields with back airs and landing safe, and then just continually looking, I'll even be on stream, I'll be like, I didn't cross that up. Like I will get mad at myself, like if I'd crossed that up, I could have either gotten out of there or come back in with a grab or something, like it's that continual learning.
Yeah, man. Well, there was a lot in there to unpack, and I think you said a lot of really valuable things. Specifically, I like that connection you made between the guitar and playing Smash. It's that it's pretty simple. The instrument, the guitar, right? There's 6 strings, there's some frets, there's nothing crazy going on, but it's deep. There's a million different, the way that the strings work together and all the different chords and all the different techniques you can use, allow for unlimited music, right? I mean, look at an accordion. Okay, an accordion is complicated, but there's like a million different buttons, and you just squeeze it and it sort of wheezes, and it all just sounds like polka music. I wouldn't know how deep it is.
Just wheezes.
It's sort of just it sort of just moans, and I don't know, like I think Germans like it. No offense, Germany, but
my grandma plays one, so I'm offended, but thanks.
Yeah, and she'd probably agree with me. Okay, it just sort of wheezes and and the thing about the accordion, it's not very deep, right? And Smash is like that too. It's very simple. Okay, there's a couple moves. It's one character versus another, but like you're saying, there's so much depth. Once you get into that rabbit hole of playing competitive Smash, you realize just how much is going on. What character am I playing? What character are they playing? What are the different values of weight and percent? And how much rage do I have? And how do all those modifiers, their fall speed, factor into what combo is optimal in this situation, depending whether they DI to the left, to the right. They don't DI. What if they're smashed? It's like, okay, I get it. There's a lot going on here, right? It's noisy. And, I think that when you play the game for a long time, and especially when you're in that deep learning state where you're just trying to take in as much information as possible, you could sort of get some analysis paralysis, right? Where you're just sort of overthinking things. And you cited that moment in that game where you hit him with a double dunk. That first fair, jumped up, didn't hesitate, hit the second dare. Steve couldn't recover, and you got the game. That just takes instinct, and that instinct sometimes is there right from the beginning. When you first ever played, you're like, all right, let's I got Mario, let's hit some people. And as you start to overthink things, you begin to hesitate. You begin, okay, is this the right play? And I think when you take a hiatus and you come back, sometimes you get that sort of childlike wonder with the game again. You're not overthinking things, you're still learning, but you're just throwing fists. You get a read, you just trust yourself, because why not? Like, you've removed yourself from this state of overthinking. So if anyone's ever in that situation where they find that they're thinking too much, or they're not going for hard reads or going for those punishes they know they can hit, maybe just take a step back like Josh did and come back, and maybe they'll have the same sort of renewed sense of purpose.
What was it like for you coming back?
Yeah, well, pretty similar, I would actually say. I don't want to I don't know, steal too much of your thunder, but I had a very similar experience, and I've taken multiple hiatuses from Smash, but most recently, I think I probably didn't touch the game for like a month. Once Steve came back, I sort of came back with him, or not came back. Once Steve came out, I came back with him, and very similar. Because Josh, I was trying to pick a Pokemon trainer, okay, and Pokemon trainer, for anyone who's ever tried to pick up the character, is incredibly complex and deep. It's sort of like that accordion, okay? Charizard's just wheezing all over the place. And with each character, there's kill confirms, there's combos. It's a deep rabbit hole. So I found myself, when playing the character, always wondering, okay, what combo should I do here? And I came back and I was just enjoying the character again. And I felt like my play increased as well. I was reminded why I wanted to pick up the character in the first place, because he was just fun. Right. And I really think that like you, I didn't hesitate as much. I was more strong with my decisions, and more less, what's the word?
Less analytical?
Sure, less analytical. Yeah. Overly analytical.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I felt it's honestly, I mean, there's this is gonna sound like an episode of Beyond the Metagame at this point. Like, there's well, I mean, it's how you conquer it's how you take on any goal in life. You don't say, I want to get from point A to point B and I'm just gonna start running. It's like, well, if your point B is Africa and you're sitting in Florida, you're gonna need a plane. You may need a boat. You may, and so you start. I mean, you just start breaking out, and that's really, you break down each little goal that needs to be completed for you to keep making progress, and that's what I'm doing right now. I feel like I've matured in the game to where, like, I'm starting to really break Smash down to where it's like when you start the game, you learn your basic moves. You then start to learn some combos. You then are going to start learning what combos work at what percents and what moves work at what percents. Then you're going to start learning your movement and how to avoid just getting punched, and how to find those safe approaches, and you're going to learn your matchups, right? And then you're going to learn once you have your combos down so much, the moment you can start the offensive, now that's when you start dealing some serious damage. And then it's but I mean, even that right there, I just said a lot of things that are going to take, especially somebody starting out, it takes a lot of time. Why did I never want to play Smash competitively? I knew how deep it was. I knew that I was like, I would see high level play and I'd be like, I can't. That would be my mindset. I can't. Well, of course, if you're going to say you can't, you're already done for, right? Like I've had people comment on my TikToks like, oh, I wish I could play like that. And I'm like, dude, if you saw me 2 years ago, like I was you. Like I was you. There was like it's just the time and the effort that you want to put into it. You can do it. And you know, and I love seeing that in people that are in my community right now that are like determined and not giving up and sticking with it. And that's what Smash is about. Like that's what's one of the greatest things about it.
Absolutely, man. There was a Bill Gates quote I heard the other day where people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. And you know, maybe you could change those numbers around, but the point is that if you make incremental progress every day, um, your game in anything, but let's just say within Smash, your Smash game will be crazy 2 years from now, just like with you, Josh. It's a long road. I won't lie to you and say like in a week you're going to be a different player. There will be moments where you'll have incredible breakthroughs along the way, but dramatic change happens over dramatic periods of time, unfortunately. And to offer some specific advice on how to speed up that process, I'll offer this to you, Josh, to myself as well, but also to the listeners. When it comes to, you know, let's say you come back from a hiatus like Josh, and you're starting to get into that mode of analysis again, and you're overthinking things, and maybe you're worried that you're not just enjoying the game and having fun and trusting your reads and doing those sort of things. It's to take one aspect of the game and just focus on it. Okay, play for a day with only one objective in mind, so you can take, you know, one step closer to Africa, or one swimming stroke closer to Africa from Florida, like Josh said. So, like Josh, you were saying with your approaches, Leo Veritas was saying, "Yo, Josh, you're doing great, but maybe you need to cross up people's shields more. Maybe you need to approach more safely, because you know that's
use
a
fireballs
great way to
was
go
one of
about
the things. He's like, use more fireballs, you know. So
yeah, he is a Toon Link player, so I'm sure he likes his projectiles.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way to go about it. Like don't get paralyzed by analysis. Take one thing at a time and take a deep dive into it. Maybe today you're gonna focus on your movement. How can it be more ambiguous and tricky with the way my Mario moves around the stage? Maybe the next day you think about disadvantage state. Every time my opponent hits me once in neutral and I'm above them or off the edge, like they're just destroying me. Either I'm getting juggled by this cloud, or I'm getting edge guarded by this Pikachu and I hate my life. Think about ways that you can improve in those situations of disadvantage and sort of consolidate the gameplay, you know, only focus on one aspect at a time and just focus on the fun. I think long term, that's like the best way to go about improvement, especially when you're coming back from a break and you want to just keep things simple. Don't overwhelm yourself too quickly.
Well, and I had a match against Steve, and his edge guarding was like unreal. Unreal, right? And so all I've wanted to do is play that Steve again so that I could come up with ways to counter it, because I see the chatter online is nerf him, he needs nerfed, he's OP, and I'm like, no, I want to figure out a way around this, because in my mind, most like a lot of times people will go low to get back up to stage because it's the safest approach. And Steve takes all of those away. So with that matchup, I'm going to be burning that second jump much higher and trying to make my way towards the center stage as much as I can, versus like going low and hitting my up B, because he's sitting there with his flint and steel, like ready to cook me up like a Thanksgiving turkey, you know? So like, there's just, I don't know, like, I don't want him to be nerfed. I want to figure the character out. I want to beat him at his own game. And so I don't know. That's and maybe we will get to the point that's like, yeah, he's got too many tools, right? Maybe something has to go. But I'm thinking, can I cape the flint and steel? Does that fire go back and hit him? You know?
Does it? I actually don't know.
I don't know. It's a projectile. It falls.
Yeah.
So
I bet it does. If it doesn't go up, I bet it becomes yours at the very least. I bet like if he steps into it, it'll burn him.
Yeah.
But you should test that. I'm curious. I don't know.
I want to find out. So, but So yeah, that's like I like to look at it as how can I solve this problem versus just nerf the character. I'm like, no, this is my problem. I can either choose to play the character and take advantage of what he can do, or I can figure out how to solve my problem, which is getting back to stage with Steve on the ledge.
Yeah, I think that's a great way. I think that's emblematic of you having a really good mindset, Josh, in general, towards improvement and towards progress. But like even looking at it and a character specific thing, like, hey, I need to figure out how to beat this character with my Mario. I think that's a great way to approach improvement too, because you can't improve in everything at once. You can't improve at every matchup at the same time. But taking it a step in a direction will for sure yield some improvement, right? So I think that's an awesome way to go about it, and I share that sentiment with you of stubbornly wanting just to beat the character. Like in Smash 4, Bayonetta was notoriously overpowered,
Right.
and I devoted a lot of my time and energy to getting good at the matchup, to where I had a winning matchup over the character throughout the lifespan of the game, even though she was broken, because it's fun. I think that's an opportunity for challenge. So I'm with you there, Josh, in terms of Steve. I hope that we have time to figure him out before he gets nerfed, if he deserves a nerf.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And I hope Bayonetta gets a buff. Honestly, I want to see Bayonetta get a buff.
Be careful what you wish for, Josh. Okay, I might have to send, if that does come true, I have to send a couple of anime profile picture men after you in the middle of the night. You're gonna wake up like, Sasuke, Goku, who are you people? Leave me alone.
Why are there cartoons in my house? Oh man. So yeah, I want to thank you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to come hang out, guys. Crawler will be back, don't worry. Like he will be back. So but stay tuned for Smash League. I think I'm gonna need help. So if you're listening to this and you want to get involved in high level Smash, intermediate Smash, and beginner Smash, I think we're starting a league. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Yes. I Josh, I'm so excited to see how this plays out. I hope it does happen. If I have any time to be part of it, I would like to. To be determined. Depends on how this all shapes up. But I think that it's a very promising idea. I think it'd be really fun to participate in. So, listeners, help us get this off the ground, baby. Help Josh get this off the ground, because that could be really fun. I think really valuable for everybody.
Yeah, and just to see so many people improve. So, Peon, where can people find you?
So you guys can find me at Crawler's basement. No, I'm just kidding. So as Josh mentioned, I have my own Smash podcast. It's called Beyond the Metagame. You can check that on every every podcast app, or on YouTube as well. We just started recording. AV finally got a haircut. He looks presentable. So we decided to turn the webcams on and put that thing on YouTube. You can also find me at peon_BTM. That's Bravo Tango Mike for all you military folk. peon_BTM on Twitter. And that is all, my friend. Josh, thank you so much for having me. I always love catching up and talking to you about Smash, so it was a real treat, man.
Yeah, it was a great time. Great time. Guys, you can find me everywhere at N64Josh. Again, the Discord, if you want to get involved in this Smash League, n64josh.com/smash. If you listen to podcasts, make sure you're listening to Beyond the Metagame. Go and check it out. So glad they're back. They're back at it again. Season 6. It's crazy. It's good to hear. I'm glad you guys are doing it. So stay tuned. We are going to have our tournament. n64josh.com/smash. That is where you go to sign up. I will have the signups available by the time this episode goes out, so you'll be able to sign up for November's tournament. But this may be the last one we do this way, so make sure to get involved and share this with your friends. We need more people in the Smash community, so share this with them. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye now.